Our next question will be Senator Young.
Good to see you, Commissioner. Thanks for being here today. I know you've only been on the job for a short period of time, and there are no doubt a whole number of improvements you'd like to see made that have not yet been fully carried out. So with that in mind, I want to first focus on some trends that we've seen in this 2023 tax filing season. In your remarks today, you stated that the tax filing season has gone well. Among other things, you point to the IRS's phone performance, claiming to have answered more calls from taxpayers seeking our help than in 2022. On this particular point, I'd have to refer you back to our own reported numbers. 3.9 million is the number of lower calls as of April 8th that the IRS has answered in 2023 as compared to that same time last year. So there are 3.9 million fewer calls. But beyond this, I'd like to reflect on a few additional IRS-provided numbers given to us by TIGTA that are not routinely reported to the public, all as of April 1st of this year. 10.5 million are the number of calendar year 2022 and 2023 our original tax returns that have not been fully processed because they've been suspended. 3 million is the number of these returns that the IRS considers to be overaged, which works out to nearly 30%. 6.7 million is the number of calendar year 22 and 23 amended tax returns that have not been processed. And 4.7 million is the number of these returns that the IRS considers to be overaged, which works out to be more than 70%. I'm almost done painting the picture here. 10.25 million is the number of calendar year 22 and 23 items of taxpayer correspondence that have not been worked. And 5.9 million, the last number here, is the number of these items that the IRS considers to be overage, which works to be almost 60%. So, you know, it's nice to hear that the average call wait times have decreased for those who call and are actually able to connect to the IRS. Call volume to the IRS is down significantly year to year. Despite this decrease, the backlog of taxpayer inventory continues. So just to clarify, Commissioner Werfel, after getting all these numbers on the record and trying to bring some clarity to the picture, do you believe that the tax filing season has gone well for the tens of millions of Americans whose original returns remain suspended, amended returns remain unprocessed, or correspondence languishes in a bin somewhere, none of whom are receiving their refunds or having their questions or issues addressed in the meantime?
Yeah, I would say compared to last year, the tax filing season has been a dramatic improvement. I think it's important to amplify that, Senator, because it was only possible with additional resources and our ability to add more staff. We did make progress on the backlog, but not enough progress. This started during COVID. We never had a backlog like this before. But when we had to shut down our operations, we had trucks full of returns sitting in the parking lots that we couldn't process until we could get back to operations. And I will say this, IRS employees came back earlier than any other federal employees, had to work social distance. It was really heroic what the IRS was able to do in the spring of 2020 as COVID was unfolding. But this raises the key point, which is how do we build an infrastructure in the IRS so that we can do both, so that we can manage the call volume and reduce the call volume? I don't know if my number is right or your number is right. We'll get to the bottom of that.
These numbers are right. These numbers are right.
But if you say that the call volume went down, that's actually a good thing. That means that that our website is working effectively. That means that our apps are working on our smartphones more effectively. If we can build that infrastructure and modernize, it's an example. If we just operate at the same budget or less, then maybe we can answer the calls. If we have investments, then maybe we can build the callback option,
Well,
so that people don't have to wait.
Right. What the committee wants, what I want, what I think you and certainly my constituents want, Commissioner, is to make sure that we're getting and giving the whole picture here in terms of what the taxpayer is experiencing and what the IRS's performance is. So you want to be transparent. I voted to confirm you in this position because I still believe that, and I did at the time. Yet it's not transparent when the bad news of filing season, there's a mix of good and bad, is provided by inspectors general, while the IRS solely highlights what it believes to be, the most positive facts. So going forward, just in short, will you do everything you can to increase full transparency with respect to the IRS's performance, good and bad, Commissioner?
Yeah, I love the idea of a balanced scorecard, Senator, and
Yes.
absolutely. I think the reason why I want to amplify the positives is because I want to make sure that it's understood how important fully funding this base operation is.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Senator Whitehouse.